What's up, guys? Time for a review of one of the largest sets in my LEGO brand ribbon project, the Super Star Destroyer. And here it is, right there, in beautiful 4-foot 1-inch glory. The Super Star Destroyer is actually the longest physical model I've been challenged to build for the LEGO company. At that dimension, he has a total of 3,152 parts. Age is 16 and up, recommended, and goes for $400. So that comes up to about 10.5 to 11 cents per part. And he has 4 minifigs right over here. We have on the center, we have Darth Vader. We have Admiral Pratt, Danger, and Bosk. I did rotate it so I can add a couple pieces. The display case is not really that important. We will take a close-up side by side though. But first I'd like to highlight how huge the instruction book is. The set is that big. It has to be bound to rings like a binder. It's one book for the whole thing. It should have its own ISBN. It feels like I'm using a textbook and I'm building a thing. The book itself weighs about 2 pounds. The model, I'm going to say, weighs about 4 pounds. Here's a look at all the detail. One of the most impressive, challenging, and finger-soaring parts of the set is the detail. There are a lot of hinge elements and pins and whatnot and clips used like so to fabricate the detail. This is hours of work right here, my friends. While the set is mostly gray elements, there are secrets inside. The big secret is that there are 93 dark tan 1x2 plates, as well as many red, yellow, blue, green, white, and black elements inside that serve as function rather than form. The set designers did a great job concealing those, and of course they wanted to include those to save money. And now I'm going to show you the opposite side. This here is the display side of the Super Star Destroyer, named the Executor. There is the detail card for display, as I'm doing now, and it's going to be like this until September 24th when the items are packed in the car to go. So it's nice, I get to have a temporary display, a little honeymoon with this model before it gets handed off to LEGO. And here is what I believe to be the Imperial Star Destroyer in super micro scale. The interesting thing about the Super Star Destroyer is that it actually has minifig provisions despite being a pretty believable micro scale. Inside there is a removable loft section. I'm going to show you that right now. In the quagmire and hodgepodge of pins, clip pieces, whatnot, you can notice a center aft section that is removable. Voila. Oh, there it goes. Inside you have 2 cockpit bays with all their little machinery and whatnot. Lots of computers and machines and everything. It's all nice minifig provisions, but I think it's a little out of scale considering the rest of this thing is just micro scale. Has to be with respect to the movie. It was an epic build. Definitely I would call the set epic. Larger than life. At this 3,152 piece quantity, the amount of time it took for me to build this came up to about 14 net hours. So that means I have nailed in 250 or so elements per hour to get the 3,000 pieces in nearly 15 hours. I mean, I was distracted with YouTube, whatnot, Facebook. Yeah. However, it was a fun ride the whole way. It's just an interesting set. I got interested in it when I saw it first in the catalogs, and now to have the honor to do this free of my charge for LEGO is just impressive, and gives me an opportunity to marvel at this one. Yeah, I know, I wouldn't really keep a display for longer than a month. The parts would be all kit bashed in my end if it lasted here more than a month. I want to show you the other side of the machinery, and let's be a little dialectical. It's just impressive, the stunning amount of detail. Now I know Jamie Berard and others did amazing jobs in the modular buildings, but this is, well, Apple the Great, this is one of the most impressive works I've ever seen, especially how the engines are underside. I'm going to show you that right now. The engines, there are like about 12 engines in this set. And they're all using the big size pistons, and the interesting thing is the way they're constructed, because they're done in a huge, probably 300 piece section with the studs facing down. That is probably the best example of snot I've ever seen. And more than the legs, I mean the way the legs are dependent is something with the nice curvature, and that's one thing, but this is just something else. This is real snot, very hardcore design. And I have to applaud the designers for having such engineering skills to do this with Lego. This is just impressive. You look at the hull, the underside, and the legs and whatnot. The legs are nice, they're sleek. However, they're not the focus of the set, they're just there so you can put it on a stand for what it's worth. And there's the other side. This thing has more pieces than the Imperial Star Destroyer. Just wanted to bring that note out. So it is a larger build than that, but it's just, I mean, I'm just amazed how they actually pulled off all this detail and the wedges and whatnot, how they engineered that. So that leaves you pondering. And now we're gonna head off to the ratings of the set. One thing I did miss with the Fire Brigade that I did not be able to do with that set was rate the price to piece ratio. That I missed, but obviously the price to piece ratio would be getting a high rating. But that's just one of 5 scales that I have here, which are color, parts use, or application. When I said color, I meant color variety. Playability, which actually in this case could double up as displayability, because there are certain sets designed for certain purposes, and some are not designed to be played with, like the city sets, or the Technic sets. Some are just, so therefore some are designed to be displayed like so, like you see here. And just the looks of this damn thing. And for the looks of this thing, a 10. No questions asked. It's just an impressive model, definitely very, just, I don't know, I've been repeating that this whole video. You can tell with due respect that that's the case. For the price to piece ratio, I'm going to give it a 6 because it is over 10 cents per part, and there are a lot of small parts, and you don't want to, it doesn't look right paying more than 10 cents per piece. But anyway, for color variety or the presence of certain parts in certain colors, I'm going to be giving it an 8 because we have the primary colors which serve as a drawback, but the dark 10 is just something nice. It's a nice bonus, and I really like the gray. The gray can be going such a long way, and when I get around to using Lego Digital Designer, I'm going to design wings for an aircraft using these 12 by 3 wedges, so I'm going to be pointing it out to use this set for that purpose. And actually when I was designing them, I felt that wing flex that like the 777 has and whatnot. When you're doing that, when you do the wing sections, these wide sections that go 4 feet in length, they will flex. So I had that inspiration for Boeing's wing flex, which is pretty trademark on their aircraft. For playability and displayability, which actually doubles in this case only, you'll see with a little hidden set that you could see here, hint hint, that playability doesn't exist. It'd rather be displayability, or like how presentable it is. It's gonna get a 10 because it's designed for. I mean, it looks like a very reputable set, and Star Wars fans will dig this design. Like, I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan, but I would love to have one of these in my house. And I don't know about the Death Star, the new Death Star, but this is just something. And last but not least, we have application of parts ratings. And that goes to a, wait for it, 10. Simply a 10. Very creative use of hinge elements. If I were to have this and kit bash it, those hinges would be all over the city, but the use here to simulate all the functions of the Superstar Destroyer, doing my research on it on Google, and just the way it's a very good way, makeshift way to do it, because I'm looking at the models and the Star Wars graphics, and they just look amazing. I mean, they just look like they require those types of elements to be used accordingly. So that does it. A average rating. And now on to the overall rating, which for this set is going to be an 8.8 out of 10. Well, that's my review. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon. TE out.